Well, Amber, I guess it's that time again.
You mean Mardi Gras?
No. I mean, it's Tuesday. Like, it's another episode.
Yeah, it's Tuesday again.
And that means we're bringing you another episode of True Crime and Chill. So, what is Mardi Gras anyway? Like, I mean, I know it's a day to party and, the beads and the floats, but, like, what is it exactly?
Well, the best example is right before you go on a diet, right? Like, you decide you're going to start Monday. So Sunday, you eat all of the things you won't be eating on your diet. Fat Tuesday, or Mardi Gras, is the day before Lent begins in the Christian religion. For anyone who doesn't know, Lent is where you give up something you enjoy for the sake of knowing you're indulgent with it. So oftentimes people give up bread or sugar. Sometimes they give up TV or smoking. So Mardi Gras is a night to party it up before you get down to business.
And for those of you who don't know, Mardi Gras isn't just celebrated in New Orleans.
No, it's not. That city is famous for its Mardi Gras celebrations, but lots of major cities have a celebration of some kind. This particular case circles around a Mardi Gras celebration in Austin, where one woman who was out celebrating happened to be a victim of chance, just simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And this is the case of Christy Lynn Espinosa.
Before we get into anything, since I actually forgot to do this last weekend, shall we do a disclaimer?
Absolutely. But let's make it short and sweet so we can get into the case.
Okay, so the too long didn't read version is that we are not professionals.
Nope. Simply fans of true crime, just like you.
We work hard each week to bring you episodes like this one. And if you don't like it or our opinions, there's lots of other podcasts to choose from, and I'll be happy to give you a list.
Or you could start your own. There's lots of room for creators out there.
If you do like us, we appreciate you, chillers. It's great fans like you that keep us doing this week after week. Also, I have been failing because I owe somebody in our group a Starbucks gift card, and I actually have the post drafted on my phone, and I need to post it tomorrow. So,
okay. Well,
thank you for working.
We always appreciate the feedback on whatever platforms you listen to us on.
But while constructive criticism is appreciated, calling us crazy, insane, stupid, or any other nice names you can come up with isn't exactly constructive. It's rude.
There being a few. Well, but with that being that, shall we?
Yes.
All right. On the morning of February 25th, 2009, a call came in about a grass fire near the 6000 block of North Imperial Drive in eastern Travis County, Texas. An area resident who saw the smoke said they thought it was another grass fire. When the fire department arrived, they realized it wasn't the grass that was on fire, it was a body. Authorities who were on the scene say in court transcripts that there was a heavy smell that is often associated with gasoline. The body was burned beyond recognition, but some Mardi Gras beads and a military-dependent ID were found at the scene. The ID was for a Martha Medina Hernandez. After finding her ID, investigators located the husband and questioned him. The affidavit said that he had not seen his wife recently, and when he called her in front of investigators and told her he was with the law enforcement officers, she hung up.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Right? So the autopsy of the burned body revealed that she was 21-year-old Christy Lynn Espinosa, and she had died before the fire was set as she had suffered a bruise on her neck prior to death. Investigators then spoke with Christy's boyfriend, Michael Stackable, who said he went downtown with her to celebrate Fat Tuesday. She was asked to leave the Ivy Lounge, where Stackable worked as a bouncer, because she was intoxicated. She left for a nightclub called Fuel with 3 women. Michael told this to investigators. He was not a suspect for the crime because Christy gave Michael a number so he could reach them later. She told him, and I quote, "If you need me, get me at this number. I'm going with my friends over to Fuel," end quote.
Okay.
The number was for Kenneth's old cell phone number, Kenneth being the husband of Martha Medina Hernandez. Martha Medina Hernandez became a person of interest in the case and ended up being picked up on March 7th, 2009 in Eagle Pass, attempting to re-enter the United States from Mexico. She was picked up on a warrant from an unrelated charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
First off, that's a lot to unpack.
Yep.
Aggravated assault?
Yeah, against her husband. Yeah. On July 8th of 2008, the year before, Martha became angry and began breaking items in their apartment after her husband, Kenneth, confronted her about cheating on him.
Okay.
An
Yeah,
arrest
that's a perfectly sane reaction.
An arrest affidavit said Martha then grabbed a knife and told her husband that she was going to kill him. He was able to pull the knife out of her hand and place it on a shelf out of her reach. The document said that Martha then pulled a pair of scissors out of a drawer and threatened her husband with them. That's when Kenneth ran out of the apartment. When police arrived at the scene, Kenneth told police that he went to a neighbor's unit to call the police. He showed officers the scissors and the knife after they arrived. Martha was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and was released on bail. Court records show that she failed to appear at a hearing in October and that a warrant was issued for her arrest.
Okay, so these guys are sounding like a couple of winners here.
Right? True love.
Right?
2 days after Martha's arrest, her husband, Kenneth Hernandez, was arrested. Both were suspected of the crime. They were charged with the murder of Christy and the couple's bail on murder charges and for tampering with evidence charges. Their bail was set at $250,000 each.
I mean, they found the idea of somebody who wasn't the body. That's pretty damn suspicious, especially if she ran to Mexico.
Right? Well, after she was arrested, Martha Medina Hernandez admitted that she had run to Mexico there to avoid her arrest warrants, her previous ones, and said she had no idea about anything to do with Christy or her death, saying she didn't even know what Christy looked like. The deputies, however, told her they had a lot of evidence to prove that simply wasn't true, including pictures of her in the car with Christy at a toll booth and at the gas station, and Martha's ID found at the scene. Also, Martha's DNA was found on the Mardi Gras beads found at the scene. A Highway 31 toll booth attendant testified to seeing the couple drive through with an apparently unconscious girl in the front seat, and surveillance video at a gas station showed Kenneth purchasing a gas can and filling it, possibly with an already deceased Christy sitting in the car with Martha.
Sitting? Like, not, like, bundled up and thrown in the back. Sitting?
Yep. They continued to interrogate Martha back in Travis County, and that's when her story changed. That's when she said that she and her husband met Christy that night at Fuel. They got into Hernandez's car, saying Christy had been drinking, passed out, and didn't wake up. Apparently, they believed she was dead.
So you set fire to her body.
According to the affidavit, Martha said her husband feared losing his job at Capital Pediatric Group, so they made a decision. They went to a gas station in Del Valle and filled up a can with gasoline. She said they drove north to Imperial Drive and lit Christy's body on fire, disposed of their clothing, and then went to go pick up their son.
So again, I say, you have a possible dead woman. You work in a pediatrics office. You can tell if she is dead or alive. And instead of taking her to the hospital and being like, hey, I think she had too much to drink, I don't know what's going on,
right,
you just set her on fire?
Well, as I said before, the medical examiner said that while Christy's blood alcohol level was above the legal limit, it was not a limit that would cause her death. Her cause of death was ruled as suffocation, so that story didn't match up.
I mean, unless she's suffocated on her fluids, which it totally happens. If somebody is I actually had a friend pass away from this, unfortunately, and she had a little too much to drink. She threw up in her sleep, and she was laying on her back, I guess, and she ended up suffocating in her sleep and stuff. So it's completely plausible that she did, but the autopsy showed the bruise around her neck. So that obviously means she was suffocated by something around her neck.
Yeah, right, exactly. Arrest warrants for the couple indicate that each was blaming each other for Christy's death. Both admit to meeting an intoxicated Christy on 6th Street and taking her to Kenneth's car, then driving around Austin. Those are the only consistent pieces of their stories.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Right. So Martha's story changed again. She said that her husband suffocated Christy. He said that Kenneth slipped a Xanax into Christy's drink at the 6th Street bar, and he tried to put his hand up her shirt. They drove around drinking together because he wanted to have a threesome.
Okay, yeah, because that's totally plausible. Right. I mean,
totally normal, yeah.
Afterwards, it happens. It happens. It happens.
It does. Afterwards, she said she passed out, and he decided that they had to kill her so he wouldn't get into trouble. Martha told investigators that she tried to suffocate Christy. She said that she sat in the back and put her hand over the mouth and nose of her, who was sitting in the passenger seat. Martha said that after she could not bring herself to do it, Kenneth finished the job. Martha said that she was under the control of an abusive and manipulative man.
Totally sounds like it. Yep, totally.
In her interrogation, the video shows Martha saying, and I do quote, "He grabbed his hand and grabbed my hand and put his hand there. And he was paying attention to the road, and I just couldn't do it." She said that Kenneth suffocated Christy while he was driving and then decided to burn her body as to not be blamed for the death. Martha says that Christy put up a struggle as she was being suffocated. However, investigators said plastic wrap was used to suffocate her from behind.
It really just seems like these guys went out to a bar, picked this girl up. When she found out they wanted to have a threesome, she wasn't down for it. She was like, "Nah, I'm good. Get me the fuck out of here." And they were like, "Nah, bitch, now we gotta kill you."
Unfortunately, it's a little more sinister than that. The interrogation tapes were played at both of their separate trials. Martha Medina Hernandez is shown saying she begged her husband to get help when she was telling the story of Christy falling asleep and not waking up. She said that he told her he couldn't deal with this, he couldn't afford it, so he moved forward with the plan. Meanwhile, Kenneth's story was completely different. Kenneth's defense attempted to paint a picture of Martha, stating she was essentially erratic and violent. He said that while they were downtown, Christy was flirting with him, which made his wife jealous. He told investigators that Martha used plastic-type saran wrap to reach from the back seat and suffocate Christy. He said his wife forced him to buy the gasoline, then she lit Christy's body on fire.
I mean, that does kind of match the aggravated assault charge that happened when he, approached her about cheating.
Yeah.
So...
But it was approaching her about her cheating, not about him cheating. So then, this, her being jealous, even though it sounds like maybe she was cheating on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, though, they sound like winners right now.
Well, it eventually came to light what happened. At Martha's trial, Rebecca Hernandez, Martha's sister-in-law, testified. Rebecca was the one driving when Martha was arrested at the border trying to re-enter the United States. Rebecca went down to Mexico to pick up Martha and begged her for the truth. That's when Martha admitted to her that she killed Christy using saran wrap, wanting to fake her own death to be able to steal Christy's identity so she could continue to visit her family in Mexico despite her outstanding warrants.
So let me get this straight. Instead of going through the legal process and just getting the warrants taken care of so you could visit your family, you decided to kill somebody and steal their identity. I'm not seeing how she thought this could work.
Right. Nowhere in this did I ever say it was a smart and well thought out plan. In the end, Martha Medina Hernandez was sentenced to 60 years in prison. The jury also sentenced her to 20 years for tampering with evidence, a charge that runs together with the murder sentence. She will be eligible for parole after serving 30 years. Kenneth Hernandez was sentenced to life in prison and 20 years for tampering with evidence.
So my thing is you got this couple who just murdered this girl, and obviously the whole reason why they murdered her is just a complete lie. I know damn well this woman did not murder her, just steal her identity.
She did.
I'm sorry, but...
No, she did. That's why she left her ID at the scene. They expected them to just assume it was her body.
Did she not think they would look at dental records?
Right. The body was burned beyond recognition. I can see where she might think that would work, but you're right. Dental records. Also, the fact that this girl had family. She had a boyfriend who was a bouncer at a bar in Austin.
Yeah.
That's not scary enough for you? Sorry, let's be
I'm
real.
Sorry, but no.
But
and then you got this husband who was totally okay with her just killing this person, and it's What did you do that you were totally okay with killing this person with? Like,
well, I think ultimately what it possibly came down to was maybe he felt regret about the fight that they had. They kissed, they made up, but then she had these
oh,
records.
honey, I'm so sorry we fought, but let's go kill this bitch together.
Right. I think the idea was that they were going to steal somebody's identity. And then she decided somewhere in the throes of it to fake her own death so that they wouldn't keep coming after her and maybe her record would just be expunged. But I don't know that there's a lot of stories out there about faking your own death working with today's forensics.
No. No. No, no. Like, what? It's Happy Valentine's Day, I guess. Like, here's a dead body.
And she's like, hey, look at this. It's Lent tomorrow. So let's do this today. And
Because we'll be forgiven tomorrow.
Let's not kill people during Lent.
Let's not kill people during Lent.
Right. But I mean, I can kind of see the trail of how it worked in her brain a little bit, like, okay, I'm going to steal this girl's identity and then I can still go to Mexico and I can still, see my family and then I won't be arrested at the border and I can just keep living my life without having to do all the work that's required to get the record clean.
The look on my face right now should be enough to tell you that, what the?
Right. It's like, okay, so instead of just doing the work, you're going to then instead do something worse that's going to put you away for a lot longer.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
Also causing multiple people to suffer. You didn't do it.
We never said that she was the smartest.
Clearly. And then she confessed to somebody who then, of course, turned around and testified in court saying, no, she confessed.
No, she definitely did this. This bitch is guilty. Arrest her.
So, I mean, that's the thing is with people who intend to kill more than once, right? They do it for the thrill of it. They do it to outsmart police, right? Serial killers.
Yeah.
Bundy, Zodiac.
This woman just did it because she's dumb as shit.
Right. This woman just expected to be able for them to just say, I mean, I think she honestly was kind of counting on the police to screw up the investigation, to be honest with you. Oh, hey, look, there's this ID here. Oh, this must be this lady. Case closed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it's clearly a murder. So they're gonna make sure that it matches. So why would you be so dumb as to leave your own freaking ID there? Like, I mean, I can see her like the several feet away, and then maybe take photographs yourself. So they'll be like, oh, well, there's no DNA evidence because the body was burned, which, by the way, is not how that works. And then there's these Mardi Gras beads, and the DNA matches that. So must be this lady. That fire, there's no way that fire would have been hot enough to burn the bones. Like,
I mean, we learned this last week with the case.
You'd think.
You need to literally put it in a crematory. Like,
oh, yeah, which is essentially like a forge.
It's literally just like a giant oven. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah, but it gets hotter.
It's like my air fryer on crack.
Yeah. I just don't understand how somebody could do something like this and not think it through more.
My thing is, I'm pretty sure she thought it through more. She dumb. I'm pretty sure she thought it through. She's just dumb as shit.
Well, but did she think it? I mean, she literally met this girl's boyfriend, right? He was a bouncer at the bar where she met Christy to begin with. And Christy then turned around and gave her boyfriend the phone number so that he could find her later. Like, she left a huge trail of evidence.
Like I said, she thought it out. She just wasn't smart.
Clearly didn't watch enough of the ID channel. Like,
She didn't watch enough of anything. Let's be real here.
Of course, it's also 2009, so, there weren't great podcasts and stuff. So, Well, Christy was only 21. She had just graduated from Crockett High School in 2005, where she took advanced placement classes and was a member of the dance team. Friends and family say they remember her smile and the ability to make people laugh and feel at ease. She waitressed at Applebee's, and her parents told the jury that she was a compassionate and giving person with a comedic streak. Her mother says, and I quote, "She wanted to make sure she was going to make your day brighter," end quote. Sadly, Christy's good nature was taken advantage of by a woman who was desperate for a way to not go to jail. Instead of just doing the work, clearing her name, she made it worse and not only got herself locked up, but her husband too. Martha and Kenneth took it too far, and now they both have to think about what they did every day from their cells, while Christy's friends and family work to find ways to move on.
Thank you for listening to True Crime and Chill. For more information, including case notes, photos, and sources, please visit our website at truecrimeandchill.com. You can also stay connected with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Look for new episodes from us each week on Tuesday.